It's time.
Stop. All right. Well, I don't have my phone on my watch died. We'll call the Clewiston City Commission meeting to order. It's Monday, June 17th, 5 p.m. If you would, join me in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Lord, we thank you for this meeting today. We thank you for the city of Clewiston. Lord, as we go about the business of the city, we just seek your wisdom and counsel and advice. We thank you for leading and guiding us by the power of your Holy Spirit today, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Manager, any changes to the agenda?
Yes, sir. Agenda 7, resolution number 2024-40 will be removed.
Removed from the agenda, item 7.
And that's it.
Okay. At this time, we'll entertain any public comments. If you would like to wait to the agenda item to make your comments, that will be fine. If there's any other public comments, you may come forth at this time and state your name and address.
Janet Taylor, 1018 Louisiana Avenue, Clewiston. And I'm here this afternoon because my mother taught me that you're supposed to visit people before you want something.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, most of the
We
time
don't
you
have
show up.
Is this the visit or the want to?
This the visit.
Okay.
This
We-
is the
we-
visit.
we don't
I'll
have
come
it.
back with the want to after I've talked to the city manager.
We don't have it.
To the interim. But I just want to say on behalf of the Harlem community, we really want to thank the city of Clewiston for all the help that they've given us. I know you all know we've had some crisis situations with some fights and all those sort of stuff, and we needed accommodation to meet with the people and the sheriff's department to talk about it, and the city provided us that venue, and I just want to say thank you all.
Good job.
Y'all really, we got ahead of a problem, so you all don't know how much we appreciate the help that you all have given us. And so I just, every now and then, we need to say thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Janet.
And I like that faith you put out there.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Larry Tibbs. I'm the city manager of Moorhaven. I'm just here this evening to, I know you're going through a lot of transition. We're all, I'd like to say that, any assistance we can provide, we'd be happy to. God knows you bailed us out utility wise for many years now. So, but personally, I've been in local government for about the past 31 years. My background initially was administration, finance, and HR type. Although, as you become city manager, you become jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Especially in small communities.
Like I said, I've been last couple of meetings. I know he's going to do well. Absolutely, I'm sure positive of that. But like I said, I know you had some other key staff that you got new people in, that kind of thing. So, but it does sound like you're getting the right people in place. And like I said, but again, all I want to say is if anything we can do to help, we're there.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
I really appreciate that. But it's small communities stick together, so I
Yep.
like that. Okay, no further public comments. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move that we approve.
Motion to approve by Gardner,
Second.
second by Thompson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, a couple of ordinances on their first reading tonight. Item number 2 is ordinance 2024-06, the first reading. And it amends the Clewiston Code of Ordinance, Chapter 74, Utilities, creating Section 74-14. I'll read the ordinance by title. An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, amending the Clewiston Code of Ordinance, Chapter 74, Utilities, Article 1, in general, creating Section 74-14, meter tampering, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinance, conflict, severability, providing an effective date. We'll declare the first reading, the public hearing open, If there's anyone from the audience or citizens that would like to speak at this time, please come to the microphone. Seeing no movement, I'll ask for any comments or questions from the commission.
That needs to be done, and so I'll make the motion to approve ordinance number 2024-06 on first reading and set the public hearing for July 15th, 2024.
A second.
Okay, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have a motion by Gardner, second by Commissioner Edmonds for approval. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 3 on the agenda is also an ordinance for first reading, ordinance number 2024-07. By title, I'll read ordinance. It's an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, amending the Clewiston Code of Ordinance, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 3, Purchasing Procedures, Section 2-78, Purchasing Thresholds, providing for an inclusion in the Code of Ordinance, conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. I'll declare the public hearing open. If there's anyone from the audience that would like to speak on this matter. It basically says we are going to move the threshold from $25,000 to $100,000. Seeing no one from the audience, the commission has any questions or comments?
I just know that, the ordinance is pretty clear that, it has to be approved in writing in advance by the finance director and the city attorney. And of course, the first approval will be the city manager. So the checks and balances are continue to be in place. And with the cost of everything that's gone up, I think it's way past time that we
Definitely, for sure, the way things
increase the
cost today.
threshold. Yeah.
We checked with other cities and
Yes.
they've also adjusted
Staff
their.
did look around, yes.
Yep. It's pretty, all over the place as far as, of course, it's the commission's discretion. There's 75 is a very common number. There are cities that go vastly larger, up to even 200, 300,000 in some cases. So at the end of the day, it's always at the discretion of the commission of where you want to set that number at.
Well, it's important we still have the checks and balances, as Commissioner Gardner stated. All right, I'll declare the public hearing closed and entertain a motion.
I move.
Motion by Highslope,
Second.
second by Edmonds. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I think that's the quickest first readings we've had in a while. Okay, we have a few resolutions before us tonight. And item number 4 is Resolution 2024-037. I'll read it by title, a resolution of the City of Clewiston, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, authorizing the modification of the Tyler Technologies Enterprise Software Agreement to a cloud-based solution for a total cost of $32,946 annual, an annual increase, and authorizing the mayor and the city manager to execute the amendment.
Mayor, I believe that price has changed, correct, Randy? Do you have that number? We gotta have that. I thought you told me you had that today.
Well, can we say or less? Can we add the words or less after the end of that?
9,000 less.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Or to a lesser amount as
Or to a lesser amount.
yes.
Is that okay?
as required by the modification.
So it's 9,000 less.
Approximately, so it's not,
This
not
is
to
gonna
exceed,
update our system.
Yeah,
so.
not to exceed the 32,946.
You wanna talk about it a little bit, Randy? Yeah, thank you, Randy. Yeah.
Tell us how this is going to help us.
Okay, so is it on? Okay, so we have servers in here in this building and next door for our Tyler product. What this does, it moves those servers to the cloud, does a couple things. One, it helps with backup should something happen locally. An example, a few weeks ago, due to a power interruption on a Monday, we lost a couple hours of some Tyler access. just a couple days after JD got back from vacation. Thank goodness, because we could have been gone down a lot longer, because I don't know who JD's backup is in case of something like this happening. So we have a security issue. And again, I wanted to state that I wouldn't have put this, I would have just put this in the budget if I didn't think it was an urgent matter. But if anything happens, if we get a roof leak in this building and it's dripping all over our server, which could very well happen, we might be out of luck for at least a little bit of time until it gets our backups in place. Tyler's cloud is supported by Amazon Web Services. They've got probably thousands of people that work up there in that area to maintain their networks and stuff like that. JD and I talked about getting a switch similar to the police department, to where if one internet provider goes down, the other internet provider via the switch would be picked up. So more than likely that would be Crown Castle, I believe, along with CenturyLink as a backup. So we would have some redundancy there, which would help in that matter. Now, as far as visibility for you all and for us as directors and whoever we deem important, is this allows access that if you have username and access, or username and password and access, you can view your Tyler files from wherever you are. You don't have to be here in the office. If you're talking about something at 8 o'clock at 9 o'clock at night and you know how to use your budget reports and you want to see something, you can grab that information as directors or as board members. So it opens up a lot of visibility to when you might need it versus having to be right here on site to get that information, or get a hold of me, who's still learning how to get you the reports that you're used to seeing. In speaking with the directors, that may be more important than our security aspect of the backups, is having the ability to access the data from different points in the city, because we're not centralized as well as, like police department across town, library across town don't have direct access without a VPN connection, and this takes away that. I'm not sure how we got through COVID without having this, but but that's its purpose. And
COVID dollars would have financed it.
Right, just the security aspect alone really is what drove me to put this as a non-budget or as a unbudgeted expense, and
I think, Randy, most businesses, larger businesses have cloud-based solutions just for the reasons that you stated. I mean, it makes absolute sense for us to do this and not wait any longer.
And, this is the first step, and maybe some of our other our other, what do we call them? Our database files, some of our network files. Maybe we choose to do that next if we're comfortable that this is working out well. Tyler's its own separate thing, but maybe you get backups to some of the other files as well. But
that's what I was going to ask. Is this all encompassing?
This is Tyler for utilities and for the GL system, but it's not necessarily the individual finance drives. It's the data that's on those systems.
Why would we want to limit ourselves to one? Or later we'll have this one for this one for this. Why can't we just go to a cloud system for the citywide?
As much as I believe, and JD might be able to help me with this answer, is, when I'm on my desktop, even though I've got we'll call my finance drive files right next to my Tyler files, they're still going to two different places on my network. One's going to go to the wherever the Tyler files are, and my finance drive files within the building could be a different drive. I don't know exactly how that's set up. It's just little standalone. It's like two different cars. One car's in the garage, one car's not in the garage. We can put them both in the garage. But that might be a separate agreement with Amazon Web Services. This is just our agreement with Tyler. It opens up some other things next year, as far as maybe some upgrades to our payroll system, as far as what our capabilities will be with that. But I don't know if we want to discuss that, go down that hole, or if we just want to talk about it.
Well, that is one of the things, Randy. We want to go paperless, as we discussed the other day in payroll. And that way the supervisors, like you said, can. So that is one of the things. This paper thing and waiting on people to deliver, where we have direct access to payroll.
It does. And Tyler does have an integrated solution as well. This could be an easy add-on to Tyler. It would be, you put in those numbers and it takes 20, 25 hours off of Lori's processing time.
This is for information. How about the operation of our water plant and wastewater plant to protect the operation of those. Is that something you're looking at moving forward as far as securities from outside entities? Would that protect that at all, or is that
We
something
have
need to
that
look at
protection, Greg, already. The plant, that's all taken care of.
Yeah, the scope of
Securities.
yeah,
That's isolated. It's within itself.
our scope primarily is financially, or is primarily solely on the billing cycles that utility does and the GL systems. As far as the securities for accesses on that is outside my area of expertise. That's going to have to be a question for JD or
I
Danny.
understand.
So, but we could easily look into getting prices for the other networks if it's deemed necessary. I don't know if JD would consider that necessary or not. Most of the stuff that I'm referring to, as far as within the scope of this, is data that's already in the system protected and allowing access to get to that data, versus if you needed work papers to support your answer, well, those are going to have to either be on your hard drive locally at this time, or you're going to have to be inside the offices using the local network, because that would be doing cloud storage for the remainder of the network, which again is outside the scope of this particular request.
This dollar amount, is that going to be a revolving charge?
It is an annual fee. We currently pay about $38,000 a year for Tyler services. That number, before my $9,000 reduction, is going to go to approximately, instead of $71,000 a year, it's going to go down to about $62,000 a year. So we are going to see an increase of about $32,000 minus $9,000 would be an annual amount that would be increased each year. We currently have the subscription anyway at $38,000 for using the Tyler software. It does go up by that difference in price of about
23, 24.
23, 24. So,
And that's for a partial year? Or it's
no, that's the whole year. That'll be the whole year. We pay once a year annually. When they do this implementation, it's not going to be a charge. It's going to be built into this year. We're actually timing it pretty well to where if we implement this, it'll happen just as we're renewing anyway. So there's not going to be an increased charge or an implementation charge. It's just going to be carried forward from the end of one year's agreement to the beginning of the next year's agreement.
I definitely think it makes sense. Far behind the.
Yes. If you have any other question, I can hit that.
Anyone else?
Thanks, Randy.
Okay.
So did you get the change of the reading of the resolution after the modification of the Tyler Technologies Enterprise Software Agreement to a cloud-based solution for
Up to that amount, is that?
up to would be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, up to $32,946 annually. And authorizing the mayor and the city manager to execute the agreement. That's satisfactory. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Gardner,
Second.
second by Highslope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay, item 5 is resolution 2024-038. Okay, I'll read that by title. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, authorizing the mayor to sign the Small County Outreach Program Scope Agreement with the State of Florida Department of Transportation, which agreement provides funding for design, construction, and the CEI of the milling and resurfacing of North Francisco Street from US 27 / US 80 to Herbert Hoover Dyke Road within the city of Clewiston, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. It's something that we knew was coming, and finally the money is available. Even though if you read through there, the project end date is 2028, at least It's on the books and it's going to be done.
Be very nice
Yeah.
once we get it done.
I move we approve resolution 2024-038.
Motion by Thompson,
Second.
second by Edmonds. Any further discussion?
I just have a quick question. I mean, the mayor referred to 2028. Do we have a timeline that we think, I mean, might be less than that because, you know, that's 3 years out from when it's approved.
I think we'd be okay, Stephen, if you want
Even, do you have any?
to come to. Thank you. Introduce yourself.
I'm Stephen Howard. I'm here on behalf of Dave Trudeau, the city engineer. A lot of this funding stuff for FDOT does take a lot of time because they regulate who you can hire for different parts of the project. So you have to get an approved contractor for a lot of these jobs. They have to be pre-qualified. In all likelihood, it's about 4/10 of a mile. It's a remill, resurface, some sidewalks. Yeah, it probably won't be to that end date. That's the statutory limit to when you have to have the project completed. It's not a terribly complicated project. It's not a big major road. There won't be a lot of problems during construction, most likely. And I think it'd be an attractive project to get bidders to, so it won't be something that is difficult for the contractors, designers, and the CEI team. So the timeline really is more of a statutory thing. I'm not sure that that's a good idea it's not really the mindset of when it's going to be done. Once it starts to be designed, you can expect a little more certainty with, okay, we've run into these problems, and you get a better idea of when that construction timeline might be up. But at the moment, it's hard to give you really more than maybe it takes 3 years, but I would doubt it.
Do you think by the end of the year we'll have by December 31st, we'll have a better idea about
yeah, I think you have a better idea by then. Like I said, this is already from the FDOT agreement, so they've already got it rolling. I know there's some talk with different design professionals looking at the scope of the services for different designs. So I know we've already got an idea of what we want done with the money. It's now a function of, okay, talking with the design professional, looking at constructability and all those different things. So I imagine it won't be too long into the process where you can expect a little more detail for that kind of timeline.
We inspected that culvert too, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no drainage. It's not reconstruction. It's just resurfacing.
There are 2 culvert crossings that the one scope that I saw, they did propose redoing those 2 crossings. I think it was only 2.
Sidewalk, I think. Yes.
Yeah, I think. So, yeah, it was on the west side of the road. So there's already sidewalks on portions of the street. If you look at the map, the idea I think is to put on the west side of the street a 10-foot multi-path lane, if you will. And of course, this is all tentative. Nothing is in stone. It's just in talks of ideas. You've got the money. It'd be a nice thing to have. And then on the eastern side would just have the normal sidewalk, the 5-foot wide, 6-foot wide sidewalk. Remill, resurface, do striping. There's a lot of parking within the right of way on that street. So all of that would have to be updated per the ADA standards, the striping, the FDOT standards. And then there are 2 culvert crossings. It does cross I believe it's the C2 canal. And so all that is going to be touched up, updated. And that's generally the scope of the project. And there, like I said, it's a wide range of things you can actually do with the money. So as the design team looks at it, it may be, hey, we need to get some feedback on, do we do this or what have you. And that's something that definitely can be explored as the design process is completed.
Yeah, there's a little bit of issue with drainage there by the Elks Club, by Concordia, because it always holds water into that area. So those are some of the things that your guys would look at, right? Okay.
So we definitely don't want to drag our feet on this project.
Right.
If you're that 2028, that's what's.
Right. It makes you think you got a lot of time, but it's money the state's giving you. So it's one of those things that if you put it into motion, at least you're trying to get the money. You know, there's a lot of contingencies on the state side if you read through the agreement. But otherwise, it's definitely something that seems like, hey, get started, and at least you're putting your foot down on it and you're making tracks with it. So
Thanks, Stephen.
Can you keep us updated as to when they do the design?
Yep.
And maybe even they can do a presentation once they, so at least we have some feedback. Probably won't have extra dollars, but we might,
Never know.
to do certain kind of lighting and things like that, maybe.
Maybe the water district could pitch in on some of those culverts.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 6 is the personnel policy. It is resolution 2024-039, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, amending the City of Clewiston Personnel Policy Manual, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. This has been ongoing for a while, and I'm really glad to see it at least in our folder. I don't know that I'm ready to vote on it tonight because there was a lot of changes
There's
that
a
I
lot.
still haven't read through, but
I think
Mayor, I would ask, most of the changes are verbiage, and verbiage that was changed 6-7 years ago, just never was brought forward. I would ask that we give our new HR manager an opportunity to look through this, and have some input on it, because in my view, there's no substantial changes. It's just verbiage, and I don't think it makes sense for us to pass one tonight, pass one next month, or a month, 2 months from now.
I think I remember or hearing that some of the stuff from a legal perspective probably needed to be updated, or that we should probably update it, and then the whole policy needs to be looked at, and I believe the new HR manager has plenty of experience in that, and can certainly upgrade, change it up. But I don't know if a month is going to give sufficient time to make the changes. I'm just thinking that some of the stuff on leaves and things like that, we might have to. Yeah,
Well, it's
I
been
think
20
I just
years
think
coming.
yeah,
I don't know
I
if
know.
I'm hurt.
Well, but some of
We're
the
gonna
stuff
get
has
it
to be like
done.
you said, verbiage from the some, and Dylan, you could probably talk about this, but I think that updating it now is with what's been recommended is probably the right thing, and then a complete rewrite after Ashley looks at it and her and the council look at it. I just think it's incremental steps. I mean, if you look through the policy, it has been updated since 2004 at different times.
Yeah, paragraph at a time.
But it needs to be some of the wording in it definitely needs to be changed, and I think it's going to take longer than a month to really bring it to where we want to look at it and go by almost by page to talk about it. That's my thought from an HR perspective from my past experience.
Well, we just wanted to bring it to you guys, let you know we were working on it. But I mean, I kind of agree. It's fine.
But do we have parts of it that are like a liability,
There have
so outdated?
Yeah, it's very outdated. There have definitely been updates in state employment law that you have to follow regardless of whether it's in your policy or not. So I think it makes sense to have it memorialized in your policy, and that is some of the changes that are recommended in front of you now. But it's not something where if you don't update this right now, you're going to be in any significantly worse position. You already have to abide by those regulations regardless.
I didn't see where travel was added to this, was it?
Not this one, no.
a few things I looked at, we've talked about them before, social media protocols and the travel, who can ride in a city vehicle.
Oh, that's in here. I'm sorry.
Well,
Yes.
no, that is, but I don't know if everything was considered, like kids that ride on the fire truck in the parade, when the police give someone that's in a crash a ride to the police station or give them a ride somewhere for help.
They're used for personal.
So that's a lot of safety things. So yes, it's in there that no one can ride in a city vehicle, but I would hate to see that happen and then the driver get fired because a kid rode in a fire truck.
And hopefully we'll have some time clock policy pretty soon.
But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of things that also need changing, but if there's some legal things, I don't mind. I mean, I wasn't prepared to vote on it just because of those questions, but it is going to take more than
A month.
I'm going to say at least with budget going on, at least 90 days.
Yeah.
Ashley told me she could have this done in 2 weeks.
What you doing me?
No pressure.
Well, you
As
have the
long as we
retirement
give a date certain.
also in here. Yes, yes.
I'm good either way. I would just figure we.
I just think we
Take
need to
one
go ahead and
swing at
move
it.
forward, do those updates, and then have the thorough review that needs to be done to it.
Okay.
But not have to rush it to make sure that we've got all,
Well, I'll get
all those
together with you.
questions covered. So, that's my thoughts.
Got help,
Agree.
too.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-039.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Gardner, second by Highslope. And you want to add a date certain for the next review, because I know the directors will have to get involved in this, because, for instance, if the fire department wants the kids to ride on there, then you're going to have to talk to her to how to get that incorporated. Well, you're I mean, the attorney's going to have to figure out how to word it, but maybe we need to have them sign
Could you put special events?
permission slips to their parents.
Or
Right.
as
But
special
could we go
events
ahead
for
and
the
just
fire truck.
approve that resolution, and then we'll make a different
Motion for another.
motion to have a new rewritten policy by a date certain, whatever we decide, 3 months, 6 months, 4 months?
Yeah, if it's at the commission's pleasure, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
I'll make a motion that we have a new policy, personnel policy manual back before the commission for review within the next 90 days. That's for a review.
Review.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second by Highslope. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that's all the items on the regular agenda. Next is the attorney's summary for the legislative updates.
Good evening, everyone. And as usual, I've provided you all with a copy of a legislative update from this last session. I considered postponing this by a month. The governor has been a bit slow this year in signing off on bills, and there remain several which have not been considered for governor's signature yet. If anything, specifically, I will keep this updated, and I will send it out to you again if there's anything I believe that you need to be made aware of that comes in a little bit late this year. I'm not going to go through all of this, but again, I presented a list of a lot of bills which have effects on local governments for you to review at your leisure. I'll go over a couple. There's nothing this year that was particularly apocalyptically concerning, I don't believe, for local governments. There was a couple interesting preemptions. Local governments cannot regulate things like food delivery platforms or regulate things like Uber Eats, Grubhub. There was a interesting law regarding heat regulations, a preemption there. There was a preemption regarding regulation on EV charging stations. There was an update to the. There was an interesting bill put forward regarding vacation rentals that would give local governments a little bit additional leeway to regulate those.
Let me stop you there
Yeah.
on the VRBO things.
Yep.
What is allowed right now?
So you cannot regulate there. I believe it was 2017 where there was a statewide preemption put in place where you cannot regulate what it's called the duration or the frequency of rentals. So you can't put anything in place to really limit them in as far as how many or the duration that
We're in
people
a
can stay.
certain residential area or anything like that, you can't.
Municipalities that had a law in place before the preemption were allowed to continue to operate their existing regulations. Now, you can regulate them in smaller ways, such as requiring registration or requiring certain life safety measurements be in place
Inspections.
for people running these kinds of
So
things, like
inspections of
inspections.
the right. Okay.
So there are things that you can do. This is one of the bills that hasn't gone up for final approval of the governor yet. It would have allowed things like submitting ID information about the owner and operator, providing proof of a state license, maintaining different information, paying in full municipal liens, designation of responsible parties, and maximum occupancy limits on the rentals.
I know the League of Cities have been working on that really hard.
Yes.
I think it's Orange County. They've got where you have to live there at the Airbnb in the city, residential area.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I haven't heard of that regulation particularly.
I believe it's Orange County.
Orange County.
Yeah, look at that.
Certainly something
In the residential areas.
Let's see what else we have here. There was some interesting amendments to comprehensive plan, the comp plan statutes that would require local governments to. Right now, if you're following the expedited state review process, you have to submit a proposed comp plan change to a list of designated state agencies, which provide comments back. And the idea is to review those comments before the second reading. This would require, although that wasn't a requirement in the past, this would formalize that. It hasn't been presented yet. There was the unauthorized camping and sleeping ordinance, which was signed into law, which prevents any municipalities from authorizing public camping or sleeping. And it also creates a framework in which a local government can designate an area of land if certain security measures are put in place for individuals who can, who want to stay in that area.
While we're on
Rural
that topic,
counties are exempt, correct? There's something about rural counties not having to have that.
Well, I don't think there's any requirement.
Okay.
Any
All right. Good.
local government to
Okay.
have that sort of thing.
I know we passed the ordinance, but something we missed on is parking in the parks.
That's right. We did pass a no camping ordinance in the city. During that ordinance did not contemplate a parking aspect to it. It's something the council desires to add on.
Because we've had semis parked at the lake, and they're staying in a hotel where they park their semis there. There's nothing we can do to enforce that because it's public park.
And if you'd like to direct staff to come back with a proposal or a modification to that involving parking, I'm happy to bring that back for you.
I think we have to look at it because I'm seeing semis in residential neighborhoods. I know that the law enforcement's addressing those issues, but we also have them parking at any place that they, on city where cars are supposed to be parked. They got semis taking up the whole spot on city streets. Also, our boat basin. I mean, that area is for boating and for recreational. But when you see semis pulled up out there, not for a tournament. Tournament's a little bit different, but I just think overall that they're parking there and going someplace else, leaving them parked overnight. I know our parks are closed at certain times, but that's not something that we've ever had to deal with in the past. But I'm seeing it more and more.
And the empty commercial property that belongs to 27, they're parking there, but I'm sure they don't have permission. But
yeah, there's not a business at all there. It's just vacant land, and they're just pulling up wherever they can.
So maybe it's something the city considers
I think it's something we have to look at.
regulating in the future.
We have started ticketing these drivers, these trucks, finally. So there's several of them that continue.
Also, which I know is illegal, but parking on city streets. I mean, they'll park semi on the city street, stay at an adjacent place, and just leave it parked on the road, which is a danger. anybody coming down the road. So, and I know everybody's got a job to do, and they're doing a job, but the city streets or city parks are not the place to use.
Travis, there's some building department updates regarding when a local government has to determine whether a permit application is complete. The rest of these I'm not going to highlight. There were some interesting ones that didn't pass. There was an attempt to increase the sovereign immunity caps for local governments, doubling it. Would increase local government liability for things like torts and personal injury. That did not pass. But again, this information is here for you if you'd like to take some time to look through it. If you got any questions about anything? There was some money set aside in a couple different programs, some grant opportunities for different things that were set aside this year. That concludes my report. Of course, if you have any questions over anything, or feel free to reach out.
You'll come back next month with more information, just to continue. Once it didn't pass, I mean, this list needs to be cleared out, right?
I will keep this updated and resend it out.
Okay.
As the governor finishes.
How about on our specific request?
On what particular item?
The trucks,
Fire
and
truck, the roofs, certain.
Oh, the fire
Our
truck I
legislative
heard was
request.
passed.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
fire
we got
truck
it.
passed.
Yeah.
The water line, we did not get our maintenance, the 2.4, the roofs. 2 out of 3 is not bad, but hurt a little bit. But already, I'm working on people that's finding us funds. So,
It just, Randy was talking about roof leak.
well,
We were counting on that funding to fix the roof.
at least we got the library done. So, it's completed.
Are we going to do any inside work in that front room to use it, or is it ready to go?
The library, I think we're good.
There's a meeting room in front that nobody's been able to use.
Well, that was because of the leaks, but I think the walls are okay. We'll definitely look at them. I know there's some issues on the backside, but we'll address those. But overall, it went well.
All right. Any other questions for Dylan? Okay. Old business. Any questions about the list of old business we have back there?
a chance to really look at it.
Give us an update on the building across the street. Are we going to lease that out, or?
Yes, it's going to be the
That's in
CPAC
there.
group. They're looking at it now. They are going to use it. So with that, I guess I can talk to you guys. We plan on maybe looking at taking down the CPAC building that was donated. And we do have a contractor that's interested in building some apartments there. I have reached out to U.S. Sugar because they have a piece of property there, and I've talked to them, and they're definitely interested also. So, but yes, they're definitely. I think I'm going to meet with Brenda this week. I ran into her the other day. So we're going to try to remodel a little bit. So anybody wants to donate some time, help.
Is there an update on the development on WCO?
Development on WC.
The old trailer park?
No, that's sitting still because he's working on a job at this time, and I think he's got another job, so he's kind of postponed that. It's been back and forth. But we're ahead of it, so.
He never pulled did he ever pull a permit to start the one on WCO? So the permit's still.
I'd be hopeful they follow through. We significantly increase the value of that property by that water project.
On Central, where CPAC was, will they be taking that building down?
Yeah,
completely?
it's got a lot of issues. I mean, again, he believes he can put like 8 duplexes in that area.
So I know that going through the process, I know it was a gift to the city. I don't know what the
VFW?
it was the American Legion.
Yeah.
They donated it
I
to
don't
the
think
city.
they exist.
No, I don't think they do either, but I don't know if there was any restrictions on it. I wouldn't think so at that time. I think it was just a fee simple. We don't want it, please take it. But, I know that there's been a lot of issues with it over the years,
Yeah.
and the CPAC has done a lot of work
They put
there.
a lot of work and money in
Yeah.
it.
Mostly inside, maybe a new roof, but it still needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
Another flat roof.
I think it's the amount of probably funds that would need to bring it up to date would probably be more than what the building itself is worth. It's an old flat roof building. But those are some of the things. I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything with American Legion donated to the city.
And the city
But
definitely
certainly
has
this
need.
is part of redevelopment, and it would be nice to have that area redeveloped.
Are we looking at selling it, donating it?
Property. I would think we want to sell it.
Yeah.
Well, my vote is no donate. Contractors don't build apartments.
We got lots of roofs other places that got to be repaired.
Yeah, we're.
To double the price.
We definitely need housing.
I think that would be great. I mean, we have apartments in that area that's going up, and it's really improved that area. I mean, it's come a long way. Son-in-law built some on WCO, and they're holding up well, doing well, and the ones in the back are keeping them in good shape. And of course, we got another one going in, so that would really set that place off. I mean, to me, WCO looks pretty good with the house across the street. It was a mess. It actually looks pretty decent to drive down now.
Better than it did.
Yeah.
Have we decided anything on the parking here
For
that's
the
close to us?
Car dealership or our parking?
Well, behind there, right over here behind that little plaza.
Across the street.
Just right across the street.
Oh, our parking lot.
I mean,
It needs to be redone.
yeah.
That's probably going to be in this year's budget. Kind of like just resurface this one, to get it looking
Yeah,
better.
it's nice.
Because there were some issues back here with
Yes.
water issues.
Yeah, we had a water line break.
One point we were talking about doing it when we did the Ventura project,
Yeah.
upgrading some of these parking lots.
Yep.
If it can wait that long, I don't know.
Have you had time to think about a ribbon cutting date for the bridge? And
Yeah, when
lighting?
ZEP gets done. No, they've started today. So this is the final, and we should finish up soon. Yes. And once that's done, I think we can look at that.
Because I know we'll have to coordinate with our representatives when they can make it. And
Yes, definitely. I guess I can say in the public meeting, one of the things, Miss Pasadoma, I think she had a lot of input on helping us get those funds. And with what happened with her and her husband, I think it'd be nice to dedicate that bridge to her and her name, especially with the trail and those guys being hikers and that type of thing. I really think that would be great.
Look forward to that discussion. You've certainly been a great friend to the city.
Yeah, definitely. She's helped us a lot.
Anything else on old business?
I don't know if it's old business, but I know it's about the new fire truck. I would like to ask Travis how we're going to house the fire truck and what size it is. Will we have to build a new bay or?
I remember hearing
Training station and everything.
No, the size of the truck will look very similar to what we have now, the typical fire trucks that you're used to seeing. It'll just have a small ladder on top of it. And it'll be a 75 to 78 foot, depending on what vendor gets the bid. But I did reach out to State Fire Marshal's office today. They haven't got back to me on what the procedure is going to be. They did say I would need a letter. I don't know if the city's received it yet from appropriation stating that we actually got the award. So as soon as we have that letter, we'll forward it to the State Fire Marshal's office and make sure our bidding procedures are the same as theirs, or that we can blend them together, and our attorney have to look at that.
Is that
So-
still at least a year?
Nah, it's probably going to be a minimum of 2.
2 years?
Yeah, I think the earliest we could get a truck like that would be like 600 and some odd days from time of, and it takes a while to get to PO because we are partnering with the state on appropriations. So as soon as we get that in place, the funding, or get where we can write a PO, then that 600 and some odd days, depending on which vendor we choose, will start ticking away. So it'll be a couple years, but still, kind of like the road project, we know the money's there. That's the important thing. It really helps our budget as far as long term on our capital improvement. But no, I was kidding. No station modifications. The truck is only a couple feet longer than the one we have now, and there's plenty of room in that bay for that.
Okay. I'm
There's
very proud
much
of
more
our fire
access.
department.
we're going to keep one as extra, or we're going to get rid of one?
Yet to be determined. It depends if it looks favorable for our training facility. I'd like to keep it as a reserve engine and house it out there. If it doesn't look like that could happen, I'd just soon send the truck on, either trade it in or donate it to another department. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Where's animal control when you need it?
Probably want to
The
straw
kid at
off.
first.
I did too.
Any departmental reports from any directors tonight?
I don't know, Randy, Lynn, good? Good? You can't get up. So. Heavy? Good? We're good.
City manager reports?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce our new rec person here, Tim Pruitt, who's hit the ground running. And I rode around with him the other day and already gave me a list of stuff he's told his guys to do, and I didn't even know how'd you know him. And
That
now
would be
it's great to have him, and he's doing.
Is that the recreational complex out at
Yep.
Sugarland Park?
You want to talk about it?
2 minutes.
Sometimes, right? Yeah, my name's Tim Pruitt. Like you said, I'm over programs in mostly the ball fields. I'm 31 years, been here my whole life, so I'm proud to be coming back and serving my community and my kids in it. The baseball fields and soccer fields are very important to me. That's a big project that I plan on having done. I know soccer season's right around the corner in August, so we got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. But I hope to bring pride in representing Clewiston back and bringing the fields back to where they once were when I was here. Our fields were perfect, beautiful. I used to brag about them. Now it's you kind of hide if you bring someone here, just being honest. So those guys got a lot of work to go, a lot of work to do, but I'm excited to get going. We are working with, I'm from the local schools, taught there. I mean, I was a dean there for 2 years. So me and Ashley got together. We're going to try to work with our middle school and high school, start bringing some programs back into the youth center. She's a great teammate, so I'm excited to work with her. But just be patient with us. We are working. We do got a small group of guys that are working their butts off. So if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything you guys think that should be improved that you're seeing, just give us a call. We want to work on those things for our kids and our community members. So was that 2 minutes?
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
I was excited to hear even about the pickleball
Yeah, it's doing really well.
things that are going on, and
Well, that's all the rage across the country.
I know.
No doubt.
that's anything else, Janet?
I'm good.
Hey, city attorney, anything else?
I just have a question for, we had a discussion that when we talked about the semi-trucks, we talked about Airbnbs and maybe house rentals of, people rent out parts of their houses. I don't know how that fits into Airbnb, but I'm hoping that you can give us some guidance on all that, because those are some of the things that I know we've talked about it and we've mentioned, but I think we need guidance, especially with the changes that we're seeing in our neighborhoods.
Yeah, I think it's a constructive conversation to have. Absolutely. Perhaps by next meeting, we can bring forward a recommendation as far as where the city is currently, and maybe where you want to implement something new as far as rentals go.
Maybe we're exactly what we have right now, and so we're clear,
Yep.
On where everything can be at, or who can rent what, and what kind of license they need, or what kind of rental inspections they need. If they're renting out parts of their house, or doing an Airbnb in their home, or
Freighters in their backyard.
just
We have called a couple, and I was told today there's a couple more possible. So, but we're definitely working on that.
We'll make sure it's an item on next meeting's agenda for discussion.
or at a workshop. I don't know when we've got another. I know we have probably budget workshops coming up in next month, but I just don't know if we need to have another just a workshop and talk some of this stuff out, or if it should be at the meeting. I don't know. Maybe Danny, if you can give us some recommendations on what you think of either workshop or part of next month's meeting.
Okay, commission reports, anything, Commissioner Edmonds?
I've had some complaints on utility bills that they're going up really high. I noticed ours has gone up, but I mean, I'm not sure about what consumption, we've used. I didn't figure that out. But A lot of complaints on, even on social media about our utility bills.
They can get in the portal if they've got a smart meter. They can give Lynn a call. And this is what's great. We get those people now. You can say all this. My bill, it is going to go up. It's getting hot. But now what you can do is say, look, log into the city portal. You can sit there by minute and watch what you're using. You can go turn something off, and you can watch your readings change. So that's what you need to tell them and promote that.
Well, I know looking at my bill from May to now, it's $100 difference.
Well, it's going to increase. It's 80 something degrees by 8 o'clock.
It's hot, yeah.
So if you're set on 72 or 75, your AC is running. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But the cost of electric, our power costs have not gone up.
No.
They're in fact they had gone down, I thought.
Yes, it has. Yep.
Yeah.
Does Tyler have a tutorial or something to walk people through, like setting up alerts or how to maneuver through that? Do they offer that? Something we can put on our page?
Website that explains how to get on the portal and set up an account.
On the city's website?
Yes. He's our narrator.
Well, I was on there.
Oh,
today.
Did you?
Yeah, I went on there before I came in. But yeah, you can. It's easy to get on there. But I'm just saying the price increase, has been $100. So,
but there wasn't a price
it's not just
increase.
me. I didn't even pay attention to it, but
it's just a usage increase, though. Like
Yeah,
the price didn't go up.
The price didn't go up, just
No.
the usage.
The cost of power hasn't gone up.
Actually, the power cost is
actually trimmed up.
I thought it had gone down, but I know from my home, and I was home quite a bit over the last couple of months. When it's at 74, it's running.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
all
running.
day
Oh
long.
yeah,
And
it's
even-
running.
Yeah, and so
It's hot.
yeah.
This portal can help you by, I guess people have to educate themselves. You got a hot water heater that's running. Is your windows sealed properly? How's your insulation? How often do you change your filter? You can give them a list of stuff.
Right.
And the problem when they do come and complain, they don't do any of those things.
Right.
It's just, it's the same ones that complain usually, but it's common sense what's going on. But we're more than welcome to help them. But again, we have the tools now and use them. They come to you like, what do you want? Just come to us and see us and we'll tell you and we'll show you.
We still do inspections for people.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go out.
Something we can advertise
Good
somehow.
Yeah.
To look at their insulation.
I
and
usually,
stuff like that.
yeah.
The windows,
I'll do, I used to a lot for people.
How does the city compare to Florida Power and Light per kilowatt?
We're pretty competitive. Actually, I think we do have, there again, we get a list where we are. And we rate quite well within those. I think the 1200, we do the 1200, what is it, the 2000, Lynn? But I think FPNL, we're kind of on the 1200. Actually, I think we beat them. That's 1200 kilowatts. And then on the 2000, they beat us. So we're competitive.
I ask that because I get that all the time. We had Florida Power and Light to be half.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I'm sorry, but because it gets me going, because I hear it every day. The thing about it is, Danny, my bill is $300. Okay, $300 what? $300. All right, $300 total electric or water, sewer, rec, garbage, mosquito, all this
Fixing
stuff.
to be fire.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk about FPNL, okay? Well, okay, where do you live? South Clewiston. Okay, what's your South Shore bill? You don't have sewer. So, what is your...
Where does South Shore get their water?
They're at Hooker's Point. Where do they get it?
Yeah.
Us. But again, people, you think, and helping you, Barbara, is when they say that to you, you can say, we have all this stuff for you. Use it now. It's there. Not just go complain about your bill.
Right.
What I see a lot of when I go out and check, I go out at 6:30 in the morning. their ACs would be running. I'd go out in the evening, especially one that would complain a lot. I'd go out and walk to their house. It's running. I'd put my hand on their door. I can feel the air coming out. Put my hand on the window. I can feel the air coming out. And I would tell them that. You know, how often do you change your filters? How about your hot water heater? See, now they can look. Go bring up the portal. Go turn your hot water heater on. Watch it drop.
Number two power user in your home.
Yeah,
hot water.
Exactly. Go tankless. That's the things I tell them. Go tankless. Because you don't have to worry about turning it off when you leave or whatever. Anyway, enough.
Go ahead, Tim.
I have that. But I do know that one thing that you offer, and why people say that most of the time is because they offer a budgeting fee where it stays the same price all year long, because they average your winter and your summers together. So during summertime, it doesn't spike real high.
So our website has an option to like click that, but when I have tried, because I've tried to do it, because I came from that and I liked it too. It makes it easier just to budget personally.
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
But it doesn't allow. It says that there's not enough data, you know, to give me an
We can
average.
look at
But I've lived there a long time.
Just put electrical, the smart ones in, so now it might be a lot. It takes about a year usually. Like
Yeah.
you live in a location, like when I lived out there, and you didn't do a lot of regular, not enough information. But after a year doing it, it allows you to do it. And now that we have the new system in place, it might allow that. That was just an idea that Dr. talked about, because a lot of people talk about
I've
it,
looked
but
at that
mainly
like
because at FP&L,
several different
everybody has
times.
budget. So that's why the bills never.
Well, for a while, the city was averaging, and you just didn't know it.
And now I do know that happened too.
6 months at a time.
I know that was agreed.
I think Debbie wants to say something.
I'm sorry. Yeah, come up. Thank you.
At least I opened my mouth today.
It was good. It's a good conversation. Absolutely.
It was good.
Yeah.
We brought
Sorry,
stuff
for
out.
the record, Deborah Clay, my new position is Utility Systems Administration, because we were talking about that program. I do consumer reviews, so they are welcome to call me. Hello, everybody online, please. If you have a question about your bill, give me a call. We'll set up an appointment. I will do a review of a specific time. I can only go back as far as your smart meter has been put in place, but I've had plenty of people come in and they're like, oh yes, I did have family member there, and I can see the exact minute and spikes for that water bill increase or the laundry bill increase. So it really does bring the detail out when it's explained. Some people don't still like to hear that, but we do have the information available, and that is part of my responsibilities as utility systems administrator, is to do a consumer review. Also, with the budgeting, it has always been available, and although we don't have the metering consumer information, Monica is still available and can set up a budgeting. We've always had it available.
Oh, okay. It's just not like
It's just not
clickable.
online
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
Until we
Debbie,
get
what
that
number
data.
should consumers call you at? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
983-1454.
I
Utilities
have a
Department.
follow-up question. Just knowing what the data you can see and you can walk people through. I know when you do like pool repairs or something, we have maybe an unspoken policy, I don't know, where if you have to add, you know, water to your pool once, maybe twice a year, you can call the city and let them know, because you're basically just taking that water. You're not putting it back through the system, you know?
On the sewer side.
Right. So you know, would get it for a discount. Would this new system enable us to offer that more frequently? Because someone can literally say, I'm going to put water, you know, I'm going to use water, but you're not going to have to put it through the system again from this time to this time. Can we see what my spike is?
So the
Does
difference.
that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, so the difference is the consumption of water
Like
and
no.
sewer. So there's two costs on your bill. It's water consumption.
Right.
And then what goes.
So you
what
would
you're
still pay the
saying,
consumption
yes.
side, but if it's not running through the sewer,
And so
you
I do
know.
know we do offer a once a year water credit.
Yeah.
right.
So I think, yes, it's something we might expand or look at as administration.
No, that's good. Thank you.
That was a big sell of this program, is it gives you tools so you can budget your usage,
Exactly.
track of it.
And if you turn your water heater down from 145, which is probably where it's set today, if you'll turn it down to 125, you'll save about $30 in electric a month, just in electric.
Yep.
But some people like a hot shower, so you got to make your
That's
decision.
really hot.
I know. I turn mine down, and my daughters turn it back up. But anyway, any more?
I'm good. I am interested in a senior citizens program, or if we have anything like that going on. And I noticed that our building out there at John Board looks pretty bad.
He's cleaning.
Thank you.
Need somebody to use it.
And a program, a
Leasing
senior
it, right, the
citizen
whole
program
cost.
as well. You guys are looking at that. Okay. Thank you.
Good. Commissioner Thompson?
Just look forward to going into the summer season, Parks and Rec, and our new staff, Randy, and to the Parks and Rec, what we're going to have for the kids this summer, and more moving forward. Couldn't be happier with our new bills for these openings, and I think the city's better off for it for sure.
Commissioner Haslett?
I'll echo Greg and say super excited about all our new folks. I had a conversation with Ashley today about our YMCA program being overpriced. You know, that's something that I've gotten a lot of feedback on the last couple of weeks. But, you know, it was what we had to do this year, and hopefully moving forward we can rein that in and, you know, come up with something a little bit more feasible for our families for next year.
Yeah, these two guys.
Yeah. Right.
The decision's made.
So I think I'll look forward to that, and I know a lot lot of our families will look forward to that. I mean,
We're
the price
definitely
is
gonna run
just
summer camp.
exuberant, you know.
I mean,
It's-
we
it's
got a
too much
connection
for our families.
for students now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
communicate
seeing
with
the
schools.
updates of the work that Danny and Randy have been doing with the city's finances have been incredible. So that's great. We're very excited about that. I feel like overall we can say, hey, what about this? And like, boom, people are moving on that. And it's really refreshing. So I appreciate that.
Good.
Picking up momentum.
Yeah, it is. Commissioner Gardner?
Yes, I know it's not on the agenda tonight, but I think that after hearing all my fellow commissioners' comments on things and how wonderful things are working out and how things are going, I mean, we have the leadership of Danny Williams as our interim city manager. And I know that we had talked about going out to find, search for city manager, but I believe that we have the right city manager already.
I agree.
And I would like to remove that interim from his title because I think he's proven himself as our city
I don't
manager.
know about that.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
I don't know about all that.
So I don't know if it has to be on the agenda or if I can just bring that up, but I have brought it up. So I just, I don't know if it's simple as just to have to make a motion here or does it need to be agenda item?
My recommendation would be to formalize it as an
Resolution.
agenda item, and if it's the pleasure of the commission to direct me to bring back forward
Well,
agreement.
I'll make a motion for our city attorney to bring back that as an agenda item to remove, in my opinion, to remove the interim from
resolution.
city manager, to make Danny Williams our city manager at our next meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Danny, is that okay with you? That's the biggest question.
He doesn't have a choice. He's already
Well,
proven
he has a
himself.
choice.
As long
He's
as
our
I, as long as I
hospital
get to
now.
negotiate his pay rate.
Okay, all in
No, I'm
favor?
good.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's
All
all
right,
I
you got a
have.
month to think about it, Danny.
Yep.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. The only thing that cropped up in my head was the comp plan was mentioned in your briefing Are we not due for a comp plan review? Don't we have to do it every 7, 10 years? I can't remember.
We're behind.
Travis Reese Community Development. Yes and no. There were some rules that were removed that required us to do it every 7 years. We do have to notify the state if any significant changes. So that's the first part. Is the 7 years is not absolute. However, you can't get outside your planning stages, planning areas. So we're outside that now. We're getting close. 2025 is our long range planning. So we need more than just the update. We really need to, and it's going to budget. And, Mr. Williams have talked about it. We're going to put money back in there again this year. We did last year, but we just weren't able to get it done. We had a lot of things going on. We wanted to do it via update. But what I suggest is we'll probably do a more comprehensive and do short range and long range planning.
And this will be an RFP that goes out
It will be
for a
RFP.
planner.
Correct. We do for qualifications, get those qualifications back, and then we'll see where the money lies. That's one of those strange ones where you first go out and find what the qualifications are, choose the one that you want to work with, and then we'll try to
Especially the price
get
after you award it.
well, not after you award it, but we work on the price, make sure that we can afford it, and it's what we think it should be, and then we can go to others. We'll bore you with that later, but yes, correct. Well, our comprehensive plan is in need of an update.
Okay, well, good. Something else to do. We'll give you more than 90 days that we gave Ashley.
Oh, I don't know. I think 90 days will do.
The only other thing I had, and she probably doesn't want me to mention it, but as you guys know, Commissioner Gardner's husband passed, and I just wanted to put it into the record that he was a guy that served the community through the Rotary Club and other things, and always jovial and a fun guy. So just as a city, as the mayor, and as our commission, just offer our condolences to you, Marlene. Praying for you, and I know you'll get through this.
Wonderful memories. Thank you.
And with that, we will adjourn.